This bow tuning tip is brought to you by the Anchor Site from Archery Innovations. Hey everybody, welcome to Mikasa, Sukasa, whatever that's supposed to mean. Anyway, this week's tip, we're going to be installing Archery Innovations Anchor Site. What the Anchor Site does is it allows you to remove your peep sight and have a consistent anchor point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to install it and show you just how easy it is. First thing we got to do is a little bit of bench installation. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put 2 brass washers right over each one of these holes. These are the mounting holes. Then we're going to take the universal mounting bracket and put it on over these. Now, when you got this universal mounting bracket, this will work on a left-handed bow, a right-handed bow. You can mount these right on the same side as the sights, or you can flip it around and mount it behind the sights, which is on the opposite side of the riser. We're going to take this one and install it like this. What you've got to do is you see this little hole that's scalloped cut? That's to allow you adjustments to pivot the sight. The other one is the anchor point, which is going to hold the sight in place. We're going to start it out at first right here on the top, and you hold it down and then install the flat Allen screws that come in the package. You need to put the other brass washer on top and then put your screw through both washers and into the anchor sight itself. Now what this is scalloped cut for is so that you can actually pivot your anchor sight. We're going to get into that a little bit more when we get into the adjustment of the anchor sight and getting it set for your eye. You need to hold it at arm's length, and you need to look at the crosshair with the dot in the middle and line it up with the red circle. Now, in some cases you may do this and you're going to see that the red circle is way too big and the red dot and the black dot is just bouncing around in there. Well, that can be adjusted. If you want to make the red dot bigger, if you want to make the black dot bigger, all you have to do is screw out the clear part that has the crosshairs in it. That's going to make it bigger. If you screw it in, it's going to make it smaller. So we're going to adjust this. This one's pretty close right now to where there's just a little bit of ring of the white where the crosshair's at. All right. That looks pretty good right there. I think that's where I'm going to go with it. The less the tolerances, the greater accuracy you're going to achieve. And you know, you can start out and you can move with, you can play with it. You can screw it in and screw it out and get it to where it's comfortable for you and you're most accurate. That's the beauty of this thing. Okay, now we're going to install it on a bow. The way I'm going to install this, like I said once before, is actually the anchor sight's going to mount below my sight pins. That way, when I have it back and I'm anchored, I can just use my peripheral vision to get everything lined up. I shoot with both eyes open, and it's not hard for me at all to use my peripheral vision to line up stuff like that. So we're going to hold them together like a sandwich here. And you know I know how to hold a sandwich together. If you can't tell, Kenny likes sandwiches. And then just screw it right in your bow. Put it right back in the sight pin holes there. All right, we got the sight and the bracket for the anchor sight locked down on the bow now. Our front out of the anchor sight is still loose, which is perfect. We need to get that, leave that loose until we can get our anchor point figured out. And what you want to do, guys, is when you're out there and you're setting one of these up, draw back and get your natural anchor. What feels right is that's the best anchor you can have. Draw it back, lock down. You can even close your eyes. And when you open your eye, or both eyes in the case of me, you should be looking right at the anchor sight and seeing your bullseye dot lined up in the ring in the back, just like we did when you held it out at full arm's length. We got the anchor sight mounted to the bow. You can see it looks nice, clean, part of the bow. Well, we're going to grab my coat and head outside and see if we can't fling some sticks and get this thing set up. I can't wait to see how accurate it is. I've heard all kinds of good stories about it. Now, just draw back an anchor. Oh yeah, I can see it now. Need to go down just a little bit, and my crosshairs are crooked. So that's an easy fix. What we want to do is just turn the clear housing there, got the crosshairs lined up, And then we're going to loosen the screw with the brass washer on it again and move it down just like we need to. Okay, let's see if we can get that thing lined up that time. This shouldn't take but just a second. It's pretty easy. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Now, some people are going to tell you you need a string splitter when you're using the anchor sight. Well, not necessarily. I mean, I'm not ever used it before. I'm fixing to use it. What I'm doing is I'm putting my circle right on the outside edge of my string. So when I draw back an anchor, I'm just standing there normally. I'm not having to tip my head down or do any of that kind of stuff. It's just basically straight back, hold it on, and then I want to fire the bow. Okay, well, we snug down the bolt with the brass washer on it. The only thing left to do now that we have the anchor sight set to our anchor is to sight in my sights. And you'll do that the same way you would if you were using a peep sight. The beauty of eliminating your peep sight is that you guys know all of the problems that come into play with peep sights. And, you know, if you've ever had a low level light shot and couldn't find your peep sight, this can benefit you. If you're the type of guy who has to have bifocals and you can't focus on anything right in front of your face, this can help you, because your peep sight essentially is now out at arm's length. You know how you have to read, you know, and you keep saying my arms are getting shorter because I can't read anymore? Well, this stuff fixes all that problem. Take a few shots, see what kind of group we're going to get out of this thing. I think we're going to have to do some minor adjustments on the sights, but hey, I'm going to take a couple shots anyway because I like to shoot new stuff. Let's see what happens. Well, that's how easy it is to install Archery Innovations anchor sight. As you can see, it's nice, sleek design. Fits onto my bow perfectly. That'll fit onto yours just the same. For more information about Archery Innovations and the anchor sight, be sure to visit the website, archeryinnovations.com. I'm Kenny. Stay tuned. I'll see you next time.